Welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Chem League. And the Outlaws are 2 games away from the end of the season, currently leading the division, but having to face off against 2 division foes to get to the end. First, facing off against the Burners. The Burners have already played the Outlaws twice this year. We played at the Burners home park and we split the series 1-1 in that doubleheader. The Burners ended up winning the first one 8-3 against Vincente Moon, who is pitching today. And the second matchup, we ended up winning 6-5, claiming victory in that one. So this is a rubber match to determine who is going to claim the series competition between these 3 teams. But more importantly, this game is going to play a major factor in our ability to reach the postseason, as we do have to face off against the Burners, and then we have to follow that with a game against the Maulers, where we actually won against them 2-1 last time. So we have a big opportunity here, but it's going to be an intense game. So let's get into it so we can see how everything plays out. All righty. So looking at the team, I believe we already made the adjustments we wanted to. Everybody is in the place that we want to see them. Yep. And we actually get a chance to see Ramon Lee play for the first time at shortstop, which will be very interesting to see how he plays, while Fernando Branch and Pavlikirk. Oh, I guess Pavlikirk got replaced by Ramon Lee. Apologies, I'm trying to remember where we left off. Yuppers getting the opportunity to sit today, as we want to move. Did I adjust this? Maybe partially, but I want Ramon Lee, I think. Oh yeah, and Alex Hernandez has got to come all the way down there. So I didn't move anything around. I'm going to put here, and yeah, that's how we'll do it. So Quintana in the 3 spot, Jerry Love in 4, Glass Snyder in 5, and then Ramon Lee, then Justice Colon, then Alfredo Levine, and Alex Hernandez. Do I put Justice here, or do I move Justice to the 9 spot and kind of do it as a wraparound? No, I'm not going to do anything too crazy here. We are home? Are we home? We are home. Last game is away. That's it. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into this one. I'm a little nervous, but it's time for us to jump in and see how it goes. Another game at the Tiger Den, facing off against the Burners, who their lineup is looking a bit interesting. 2 players tense, 2 players either locked in or on fire. Oh man, this is going to be an interesting one. Again, we split the series, so this is going to be a big matchup, starting with Vincente Moon. That's what I was going to do. I was thinking about whether I should replace him, but I think at this point, we see how he does here, and then we decide whether we want to keep him for the playoffs or not. He did pitch okay his last time out. Unfortunately, he got left in a little too long, so that might be the concern here. And Pineda comes up first, who's on fire, or I'm sorry, locked in, but Rock Quintana is now on fire after making that diving play. He catches that, diving it towards center field, and that's out number 1. So now Hefty Cross hits the first pitch he sees hard, but pulls it foul into the stands. Takes ball 1 up and in, but doesn't even budge. And ball 2 is inside as well. That one outside. Sprinter does activate. Misplay by Justice Colon, but luckily she's able to recover and get it over to Vincente Moon for out number 2. And now here comes Lucas Fowl, who's on fire. Has power versus righties, but not activated in this at-bat. It's tier 2. And that ball, wow, roped to the right field corner, pulled foul. 2-1 count here. The only time you want to see Lucas Fowl is when nobody is on base. And he pops this one up. So nice first inning for Moon, as he was able to go 1, 2, 3. Clean inning for him. Ball was kind of hit hard in that inning, which is a little bit of a concern going forward, but we'll see how that goes. Cantor Murphy, the pitcher for the Burners, comes up now, starting off with Babshishin. Cantor is currently pitching poorly with a 10.24 ERA. Cantor has good accuracy, has okay velocity, and not great junk. Gets the strikeout there on an 86-mile-an-hour pitch. He feels pretty good about that. And now he has to face off against Sorelli, who has slowed down a little bit, but still batting 500 on the year. Takes strike one. Cantor has 4 pitches, a nice foolish pitch there, and tough out activates for Sorelli, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle, so Sorelli gets on with 1 out. Cantor Murphy with 4 pitches, but 3 of them are off speed. 1 of them is a fastball, and Rock Quintana, who has off-speed hitter, is going to be looking for one of those off-speed pitches in his zone. He's currently on fire after an amazing diving play to start this game. Runner on first has great speed. Arm is decent behind the plate. Takes strike one, so 1-1 count with 1 out. Pitch outside that he swings at and fouls it off. And then, there was the off-speed pitch, but he pulls it foul ahead of it. And chases that pitch low, the fastball, low and inside, so not even a strike, but he was tempted, swung at it, struck out. I imagine that's going to drop his mojo back down to... locked in. Speaking of locked in, Jerry Love comes up now, gets the fastball, but swings late and pushes a foul. Off speed, the changeup there for a ball. 2 outs. Gets another fastball and fouls it off, so now 2 strikes. And it hits another fastball misplayed by Neil Carrillo, trying to toss it across the diamond, but not nearly in time, even for the slow-footed Jerry Love, who reaches base now. And 2 on with 2 out, and Murphy is in a bit of a pickle here against Glass Snyder, looking for a pitch on the outside part of the plate to drive. He got it there, but took it, so it's 0-2 count. And wow, I don't know what he was thinking, but completely ahead of that one. I think he was ready for a fastball before the ball even left the pitcher's hand. Little bit of action going there, but nothing ends up coming from it as we leave 2 runners stranded in the bottom of the first, and now Moon comes back up facing off against Kelsey Anderson. Kelsey batting 186 on the year so far, so not having a great season. 185, excuse me. 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. 3-1 count, so she's in her favor right now, and she hits that one foul behind the base, or behind the plate, and that one grounds to Cologne at first base for out number 1. Anders Anubis, the shortstop, coming in 262 on the season, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, make that 2 home runs, as I think that's out of here. Yep, that's going to get out. Halfway up the shrubbery in the batter's eye for a solo shot, and Anders Anubis puts the burners on the board, and that ball was scorched to center field for a home run. Anubis, 2nd home run of the year now. Severus Homebrew, 10th, coming up. He's playing center field in this game. He not having a great season, batting 161 with no RBIs or home runs. 2-1 count here with 1 out. Takes ball 3 low. So Moon having a bit of an accuracy issue here, full count. And that was a strike, but ends up pulling a foul. And that ball is going to get into left field down in front of Alfredo Levine, who is playing back. And that is a base hit on a full count, and that puts Homebrew back up to neutral mojo. And Neil Carrillo, who made an error the previous inning, he is currently tense, comes up with 1 out and a runner on first. Good speed at first base. 0-2 count immediately for Moon against Carrillo, and had him completely fooled there as he swings and misses on that one, and he is now rattled at third base. And now 2 outs for Maximilian Panther. 259 on the season, tough out and base rounder, both tier 2. Neither activated right now. Takes strike 1. Ball 1 is high, just above the numbers, or the letters, excuse me, on the chest plate. And diving foul, Justice misses it. 2-2 count, 2 outs, and tough out activated, and it doesn't matter as he swings through that one. And another strikeout for Vincente Moon, who allowed a home run, 2nd hit of the game that he allowed, and it was a and it was a solo shot that makes this a 1-0 ball game here in the bottom of the second. I did not listen to what they said on how to pronounce his name, but I believe it's Lee. So Ramon Lee getting his first at bat as a outlaw comes up here and tried to get the crowd in it right away. So he's already taking an opportunity to get involved with this team, and he hits that one, but gets underneath it and it sails to left center field, caught by Maximilian Panther for out number 1. Justice Cologne coming up with 1 out, and she is here at the bottom of the order, which seems to be the place she is most comfortable. It seems like when she is down here, she does better, and she swings at that one and hits it back up the middle for a single. So we have a runner on. We have Alfredo Levine, who above average hitting compared to what we expected from him and what his attributes would tell you. Cantor Murphy now with a runner on has to be careful here as Justice Cologne has good speed. 2-0 count immediately, so good hitters count for Levine, and it is a base hit for Levine as he gets that past the diving shortstop and into left field for a back-to-back singles for the Outlaws. And now with 1 out, Alex Hernandez comes up. 222 on the year, a very poor hitter. Again, only playing due to the injury to Giovanni Mays, who pulled his hamstring. Double steal and a mistake on the throw there as Carrillo is not able to haul it in. I think they had the runner there if they were able to catch the ball at third base. And instead, it's a double steal, and now runners in scoring position at second and third for Alex Hernandez with a 1-2 count and 1 out, and fouls that one off. So we're staying alive at 1-2. Another foul pitch here, so working the pitcher, and another foul. So good at bat for Alex Hernandez, regardless of the outcome here. Assuming we don't get into a ground or hit into a double play somehow. 2-2, and hits that one. It's gonna stay fair, and that ball's gonna get into left field corner. Both runners turning the base or getting around and scoring. Second and third coming home, and Alex Hernandez with a huge 2-run single. Did not expect any production from him, but we got it, and he is standing on first base, and he gave the Outlaws the lead, and now we get to the top of the order once again. Babshishin comes up behind 1-2 after swinging at that one. Cantor Murphy tense. That ball popped foul behind the plate, gets out of play, and chases that one. Babshishin looked foolish. I think it probably has something to do with the sunglasses that he's wearing at night. Not nearly cool enough to pull off that look. And now here comes Braden Sorelli, who did get a base hit his last time. And this time he swings at the first pitch and grounds it straight to the shortstop for out number 3. But a big, huge rally from the bottom of the order. It started with Justice Cologne, and we ended up getting another hit from Alfredo Levine, a double steal, and then a big single from Alex Hernandez, the catcher, coming in. The backup catcher gets it done, and it's 2-1. We head to the top of the third. Vincente Moon, who is currently neutral in his mojo. After giving up the solo shot, he was able to recover somewhat quickly to get out of that last inning, and he gets the fly out to center field for out number 1. Bertram Pineda comes up with rally starter activated here, the number 1 hitter in the lineup, and he grounds right out to Lee at shortstop, and that's out number 2. Sorry, my dog is playing with her toy right next to me, and so you might hear some noises. Hefty Cross now up with 2 outs. 0 for 1 today, batting .275. He's having a decent year. He hits that one slowly to Lee at shortstop, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Vincente Moon with a nice recovery after making one mistake in the second inning. Has been cruising pretty much for the most part since then. Rock Quintana comes in, locked in. He did strike out. It looked really bad on that strikeout last time up, so he's looking to recover. Again, 3 off-speed pitches to choose from here. Saw one there and swung right through it, 1-1 count. And that ball hit hard, but right to Anubis, who catches it right at about his shoestrings for out number 2 or out number 1 to lead off this inning. Jerry Love coming up 0 for 1, the fastball hitter. And he gets a fastball, but watches it sail right past him. 50th pitch here for Cantor Murphy is a ball. And it doesn't look like oh, hard hit ball from Jerry Love. Is it going to get a high enough? It is not. Homebrew catches it about one step off of the warning track for out number 2. So Jerry Love put a little charge into it, but not strong enough. And now with 2 outs, Glass Snyder comes up. Glass is tense after his last at-bat, so he's going to look to try and dig out of this hole. He looked really foolish on a strikeout as well. Swings at that one. It takes an odd hop off of the pitcher's mound, but it's still playable by Anubis, and he's able to get it over to first. So a 1-2-3 inning as we went through the 3, 4, 5 hitters, unfortunately. Still have the lead, but it's not a safe lead, especially against this offense. So Lucas Fowle coming up on fire still, even though he got out his last time up on a pop-up to third base. Vincente Moon here in the 4th inning, just threw his 41st pitch. And a 1-2 count here against Fowle. And that ball is low and away, gets away from the catcher. And that ball hit hard. That ball is going to get out of here easily. And another hard hit ball. You could see the fire trail on that one. Fireworks for the Burners in the 4th inning as that ball gets out. 368 for Fowle, his 7th home run of the season. He ties Rock Quintana for the league lead with that home run. And now Kelsey Anderson comes up. No outs still here in the 4th inning, and it's back-to-back hits for the Burners, and it's all tied up 2-2. And Kelsey Anderson standing on first base with no outs for Anders Anubis, who hit the solo shot in the 2nd inning. And I think you call Vincente Moon out on this one. 45th pitch. He has done okay so far, but he needs to get out before this gets out of hand. So we'll see if he allows another runner, or another base runner. He better get pulled. He should have already gotten pulled. 2-2 count here for Anubis. Full count now as that ball misses the strike zone. And ball 4, a walk for Moon, which is his first walk of the day. And now Severus Homebrew, who's neutral mojo, comes up with his clutch activated. And please pull Moon. Okay, thank you. So Ford Richardson comes in. Full stamina for him. Not the safest option out of the pen, but one that we can rely on more than Moon. And that's all I'll ask for here. As that ball hits hard to right center field. Looks like it's going to hang up. And Babshishin calls off Sorelli. Runner is taking off for third base. And it is not in time. Just out of the throw is the sliding runner. Kelsey Anderson just reaching third base on that one. So 1 out. Runners on first and third. Distractor is activated here for the runner at first base. And that's going to make it a lot harder for Ford Richardson here against Neil Carrillo, who is currently rattled. We'll take the grounder. Glass Snyder goes straight to home, so they did not opt to try and go for the double play. Lee going to toss it back to home plate, and they're going to throw it to Glass Snyder at third and finally get the out there. So a big moment there as they were able to hold the runner. I don't think they believed that they could get the double play in time with a slow hit ball to third base. And now the infield steps back with 2 outs, runners on first and second. And Ford Richardson is calling this one as he was able to come in and get the job done, allowing just the 1 home run to Fowle. And that is a tie ball game now that we're looking at here. So the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up. Ramon Lee, yes, I was right. Lee is the correct pronunciation of his last name. So he's at the first pitch, gets his first hit as a outlaw, and Ramon Lee, not much speed, is standing on first base for the Outlaws. And now here comes locked in Justice Colon, who got a single in her first at-bat of the day. Takes ball 1 high. Cantor Murphy is very tired now. Takes ball 2 inside. We're approaching 60 pitches here. Ball 3 low. They say that just missed. 3-0 count. Hold the swing. Thank you. A 4-pitch walk for Justice Colon. And now 2 runners on with no outs. And Alfredo Levine coming up. 1 for 1 with a single himself. And they pull Cantor Murphy for Dewey Peacock. The elite slider is tier 3. So if we see that, it's going to be very scary. And Alfredo Levine looking to bunt the runners across. And he gets that one down the line, and it looks like it's going to stay fair right on the line. And actually, it's an infield hit, but a bunted base hit for Alfredo Levine in the perfect spot down the third baseline, and it just stays right on the line. And Dewey Peacock could not get to it fast enough. And now bases are loaded with no outs for Alex Hernandez, who drove in the only 2 runs of this game so far for the Outlaws. And that ball's going to get through the infield, up the middle. 1 run scores, another run is coming across, and they're going to score easily. And another 2-run single for Alex Hernandez. The unlikely source of production for this offense has come from the bottom of the lineup, and we are currently at 4-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Still no outs and runners on first and second for the top of our order. Babshishin hits that ball hard, but it's going to hang up in right field. I think there's enough speed at second base. Pineda is going to try and throw that one very well thrown to the cutoff man, and it's going to hold the runner at second base. So 1 out here for Braden Sorelli, 1 for 2 with a single. Dewey Peacock is tense right now, and the high-pressure situation is making that worse for him as he's able to get Sorelli to swing through 1 and then misses. And that ball hit hard, but down the right field line, foul. Tough out activates on a 1-2 count. Pitch up and out of the strike zone. And that ball, just missed that one, just ahead of it. 2-2 still. And that ball is going to ground slowly to Lucas Fowl, and they turn to Dewey Peacock coming up with a big ground out there from Sorelli, and they end up getting the 3-6-1 double play to get out of the inning. But 2 runs come across on an Alex Hernandez single, and we are up 4-2 in this one. Ford Richardson facing off against Legend Buckley, who's got bad ball hitter, available to him, but he grounds that one slowly to Richardson, out number 1. Bertram Pineda, the number 1 hitter, coming up. Rally starter activated once again. He is 0 for 2 today, so has yet to get on base. And a 341 average shows that he has been doing well this year. So we'll see if that ball's out of here. Another hard hit ball, a fireball shot out into left center field from the leadoff man. Pineda with a 398 shot, 2nd home run of the season. And as I was saying, he has been doing well this year, so I was not expecting him to go hitless, unfortunately. But it's a solo shot, and now the lead is cut down to 1 for the Outlaws. And that ball hit hard into left field, and Alfredo Levine cruises over and catches that for out number 2. Lucas Fowl with a high-pressure situation, making his on-fire mojo, even more impressive. He's also got the power versus righties, which made that ball go so high, and it's going to be in the infield. Ramon Lee calls everyone off and catches that for out number 3. But another solo shot for the Burners. 3 solo shots resulting in their 3 runs on the day so far. Rock Quintana, who's been our rock all season long, is 0 for 2 today. And nailed that will be 0 for 3 as he swings at that one and misses the barrel. And it's going to be caught at shortstop for out number 1. Very unfortunate there. Dewey Peacock, who was tense before getting the ground out from Sorelli, the ground out double play, is now back to neutral. 2-0 count here against Jerry Love. A strike falls in, a 4-seam, a slider, and a changeup. And that ball's going to get off of Carrillo, who, again, has been struggling all day. I don't think that'll count as an error, as that was a really difficult play for him to make. And with his low fielding after being rattled, really just wasn't going to bode well for him. Glass Snyder coming up with maxed out outside pitch. He's tense in an extreme situation. He swings at that one. He grounds it straight to foul at first, and another big double play for the Burners as they're able to get out of that one really quickly and now head to the top of the 6th. 1 run behind the Outlaws, trying to see if they can make something happen here. And Glass Snyder comes out. Fernando Branch comes in at 3rd. Ford Richardson stays in. He's currently 15 pitches in, and a 1-1 count here for Anderson. Ball too low and gets away from the catcher. 2-2 now on a called strike and swings through that one for strike three. So Ford, with a big pitch there, is able to get the first out of the inning. We now head to Anders Anubis, 1-for-1 with a walk and a solo home run, the first one of the game. And he dribbles the first pitch over to Fernanda Branch, who's tossing it easily over to to first for out number 2. And Severus Homebrew, tense, 1-for-2 today with a single. His tense mojo is offset slightly by his clutch rating, which is tier 2 in an extreme pressure situation. Sign Stealer activates, but takes a ball high. 2 outs here, and now a 2 strikes here, and gets the pop up. So Ford Richardson made one mistake, I believe, but was able to make I guess I wasn't even processing the fact that we were ahead. So that's the game winner right there. The Outlaws win against the Burners in a 4-3 battle, and boy, that was way closer than I would have liked it to be, but we end up pulling it off. And the Burners offense with 3 solo home runs were all they were able to muster here from Pineda, from Fowl, and from Anubis. And for us, all of our production came from the bottom of the order. Ramon Lee with a single and a run scored. Justice Colon 1-for-1 with a walk and a single and 2 runs scored. Alfredo Levine went 2-for-2 with a run scored. And then the man of the day, Alex Hernandez, our plug-in catcher, 2-for-2 with 2 singles and 4 RBIs on both of those hits. The top half of the order just did not produce at all, which is really a backwards game for us, but we'll take it. Pitching-wise, Cantor Murphy gets the loss, going 3 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. Then Dewey Peacock came in, probably didn't deserve to pitch as well as he did, with how much the Burners were struggling for a bit there, but got 2 innings, only allowed 3 hits, and that's it. For the Outlaws, Vincente Moon, he did okay. I'm not excited about him, but if he's at the bottom of the order, or I mean the bottom of the rotation, I think that's okay. 3 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 earned runs, both solo shots. He struck out 2, and then Ford Richardson with a big game. He pitched 3 innings himself, giving up 1 hit. He allowed 1 home run, and then he struck out 1 as well. So good outing for the pitching for the Outlaws. And Alex Hernandez gets the number 1 spot. Anubis and Lucas Fowl both hitting a home run, getting the 2 and 3 spot for the Burners. So we come away victorious. 1 game left in the season, and we have stretched ourselves into a situation where we feel a lot better about what our standing looks like, regardless of the outcome of the next game. But we'll take a look at that before we end of this episode. Quick little manager moment here between Babshishin and Jerry Love. Honestly, I plan to keep Babshishin as he's still about 23 years old, and very much, or a lot of talent that we just need to harness. Jerry Love is pretty good, but he does one thing and he does it okay. And he's also really old, so I don't see him staying on the team much longer. So Jerry Love gets the penalty in manager moments there. I'm going to quickly simulate through the other games in the season, and it looks like, oh my gosh, so the next game does play a pivotal role in the results of this next game between the Maulers and us. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. But to what happened since the last game, let's see, where are we at? Okay, so we see that Ward Handspringer gets signed, and Meadow Cortez gets released. A first baseman, contact speed fielding, has easy target, which would be maxed out in Magic Hands, which doesn't appeal to me at first base very much. We see Case Hendricks gets signed to the Scroungers, replacing Barrett Andrews. Barrett, a third baseman, second baseman with Magic Hands, and he's a B. Good contact, decent speed. Yeah, he could be a replacement for Glass Snyder, but I don't see the point. It would just be spending money for like the same thing. We see Norbert Waller offended the Scroungers as well and was replaced by Emmett Pine. So Emmett Pine is onto the Scroungers, and that opens up a player who we're not interested in there. We see chance for development for Yuppers. No, thank you. Yuppers, more like Nopers. That's what I say. Bertha Cabrera signs onto the Dirt Dogs, replacing Stephanie Lopside. So that's a huge pitcher that just came available for the as a reliever. So Stephanie Lopside, do we bring her in to join her brother Crisp? That would be really interesting. Ooh, shoot! What did I just do? Okay, there we go. Jerry Love loses some speed, which is totally fine. He's not fast anyways. And we see Aaron Porter signed with the Dirt Dogs, replacing Crush Lynch. Crush Lynch is a good third baseman, but she has two spirited traits, which we're not interested in. We see Burglar signed Vaneman, replacing Anthony Jeterson. Anthony Jeterson is kind of like a clone of Sorelli, but with pinch perfect instead of base rounder. I don't know if that's interesting to me. And then we have development for Edgar Lang. We have, ooh, here we go. So Grill Schaefer dropped by the Scroungers. They've been making a lot of moves, and he has outside pitch, but not a good player. So I think we might pass there. Let's take a look at our options here. So Stephanie Lopside, very interested in bringing her in. And with how much money we've spent, we don't have as much wiggle room as we did before. You take a look right there. We don't have enough room to sign her over Emmeline Merritt or Ford Richardson, but we could sign her over Kenneth Donovan. So that could be an option for us. And Merritt has really great accuracy. I'm sorry, Lopside has very great accuracy, very great junk, okay velocity, and three pitches there. Has an elite four seam fastball, so that plays that velocity up even more. And that would be a discipline for discipline trade there, so that could be interesting. I would like to see if we could get through this. If we were going to get that though, I think we'd either have to replace Ramon Lee or we'd have to replace Raphael Yuppers, which I'm not opposed to replacing Yuppers as he has been very disappointing for us so far. But then we have to find somebody affordable and still meeting our criteria. Lucas Stone. Grill Schaefer. Not going to be much more affordable. Emmy Williamson could be an option, but not a starter. I don't think that's a good idea. We could go back to Musty. Wasn't a bad option. I don't know. Yuppers gives us the best chance. Stephanie Lopside, if we brought her in, what was it for Kenneth Donovan? It would be 9.1, which is pretty much all of our money, which means if we do that, we are committing to our starting rotation as is. We don't have any room to make another move. We could also wait until the next game and see where we're at there. Edgar Lang gets the next start. Oh boy, what do we do here? Let's see, Remy Pollard. We were talking about Remy or Lacey Clayton. No, not Lacey. Bentley Sicily, excuse me. So thinking about bringing in Bentley because he's clutch, lefty. What would that look like for Vincente? That's a little too expensive. Because then we have 4.7 left, and we definitely can't bring in Stephanie. I think Stephanie becomes more valuable, especially if we keep our starting pitching the way that it is. As Maddox now is a great option, we continue to count on Chris Lopside. We would then be able to use Stephanie Lopside as well. And then we have Ford Richardson as a reliable fourth, and Emmeline Merritt somehow has yet to even make an appearance in a game, which is just super wild to me. It's super funny, but yeah, I don't know how that's going to continue to last. But if we were to go that route, let's see, who are you? She's a righty as well, so our whole bullpen is righties. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, do we make this decision now? I think so. Looking at player development, it looks like we have this one for Jerry Love. I'm going to pass. This one for Glass Snyder. I'm going to pass on that as well. Got this one for Edgar Lang. I would be interested in considering this if Wild Thing wasn't the option here, as I would like to see him develop more. The Wild Thing is just way too risky, especially as a tier 3 trait. Um, no for this one, no for this one, and then for Alfredo Levine, I don't think it's worth spending on him. So we're not doing any player development. And then taking a look at the season standings. So we have, let's look at the whole. So it looks like the Maulers and us play this game, and then that's the end for us. It looks like the Pythons are already done as they lost to the Maulers, and then they dropped even farther in the standings. Let's see. The Marauders and Burners play 2 game series each, so they're just beating up on each other. Let's take a look at the standings. So the Burners and Marauders, they're out of it for sure. The Maulers are 1 game behind us. They're currently leading the run differential tiebreaker as well. So if they win at all, they're going to take the division. If we win, then we take the division. So it's literally a winner take all here. And then for the wild card, the Maulers take the wild card spot right now. The Pythons have the second spot. We have the. Okay, so either way, we've guaranteed a playoff berth, as we are going to win the. We're going to take the playoffs even if we lost to the Maulers. The Pythons are already 9-7. The Bone Chills could win their next game. The Burners could win 2, but they'd have to make a huge jump in their run differential. Yeah, and the Sewer Sneak, same thing. So yeah, it comes down to the Bone Chills and the Pythons for that 4th spot, and then the Maulers and the Outlaws here for the division. That would make me want to feel like we need to win this one, because I don't want to drop into the wild card and play out of there. So I think we're not paying for any development right now. So I think we're going to do it. Stephanie Lopside, you're going to be signed. Kenneth Donovan, you are going to be released. You are, I mean, I can afford to release you. Emmeline Merritt, I wish I could drop her. Ford Richardson, I'd be willing to drop him too. Can't afford either of those. Kenneth Donovan, I can't afford that. The only option it would be if we considered waiting a game, we might be able to afford replacing Ford Richardson, but she would need to drop like 2 million. And I don't know if she'll drop that much. I think it's worth it just to have Kenneth Donovan here. So I'm gonna pull the trigger now. Stephanie Lopside, who we saw play for the Dirt Dogs, I think, is now signed as a relief pitcher for us on the Outlaws, and joins her brother, Crisp, on the team. She pitched decently well in 10 games, 12 innings pitched, gave up 12 hits and 6 walks for a 1.46 WHIP and a 3.65 ERA. Two decisions. She was 1-1. 13 strikeouts, so she is striking out more than her innings pitched. So I'm happy to have her on the team along with Jacoby Maddox and then Chris Lopside. We have a pretty solid back end of the bullpen there. So, all right, so that's where we're going to leave off here. We now we have a very interesting game to see the next time out. The Tucker Blaze, who's tense right now, is going to be facing off against Edgar Lang, who has been amazing for us this year. So I hope that continues in this game, the final game of the regular season, and especially as we head into the playoffs. But the Outlaws have confirmed a playoff berth, so we will be making it in our inaugural season. We'll see if we can push all the way into the championship in this first round, or in the first time out in this league. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all next time. Bye, everyone.